And Matt, and then he got Godzilla. Gareth got Godzilla, so he brought Matt in to do Godzilla, and Matt just blowing everybody else out of the water. And he was probably only 20 at this time. He was still young, you know. And they all loved him. He went to LA, he went everywhere, and then he's on Rogue One, and then he gets on The Force Awakens, and then he was on Last Jedi. I think he did the Skywalker one. He did Solo. He did Godzilla 2, and now his name's at the top of the list as like concept art. He's the guy. And if you buy the making of Rogue One, there he is, right at the front page. It's like, well done. So you know, and it's amazing. So I'm very jealous. I'm hoping one day he'll write me a big check and pay me back for giving him a break, but we'll see. If you're listening, Matt, give me a call.
So with the special effects in this, obviously you've got the alien spaceships and things like that. Yeah. In Hollywood terms, you probably, I mean, the famous thing is their probably food budget for a big budget film was that was probably more than your budget for this feature film, for instance, in Hollywood terms. And how did you find that to get your vision on screen?
Well, you know, everything's a compromise, but we shot all our actors. There's a certain scene where our hero jumps on the front of one of the harvester spaceships, flies across the ocean, goes inside the crashed mothership, flies down, lands. There's a big laser battle, ships attack him, you know, and on paper it sounded great. And so what I did was I storyboarded it all how I wanted it, thinking I'll get money for the special effects later on. I'll bring a team in, you know, of animators in to all work on it. Well, you know, so we shot the film with all the actors against green screen, and then I was cutting the film, and because the years were going by, and I still had all these green screen shots. And whenever in the tank battle, the film would be like, you know, soldiers firing, tanks, people running, cut to spaceship, and then there'd be a little background plate which I'd shot of the sky with a little red dot on it. And the film seemed to last for years with these completely it really didn't make sense to anybody, and I couldn't show anybody apart from the family and some of the guys that worked on it, because it just wasn't working. And then this guy Lucas Remus from Poland wrote to me and said, oh, can I help, because I need some work for my showreel. So I had this space station scene which we'd shot, and the acting was great, but it was a really dodgy set. It was really looked so low budget. He took it away and he turned it into the space station. I was like, thank you God. He did a brilliant job. But we had a long chat, and he taught me a lot about special effects and the sort of things that I should be doing myself to get it. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it done, because I'd raised money, but you know, to hire an animator for one day, a good animator is really, really expensive. So he taught me about After Effects. So I thought, well, I've got to get on with it. And so I just started working through the film. I learned After Effects. I hired a guy called Ian Whiston, who's relatively local to where I'm here in the Midlands, who was a 3D animator. And he built the spaceships that, based on what Matt had already originally designed. He built them in Maya and 3D Studio Max. And I'd say to him, oh, can I have a shot of it? You know, it flies overhead, or it banks left, and so he went away and did loads and loads of shots with these models, putting them on backgrounds that I could then superimpose them onto what we'd shot. And it literally was a case of just working through it. He also designed the exterior mothership shot. So he did all that, and it took me 2.5 years, and I had to watch loads of YouTube videos, tutorial videos about how to do it. And I just basically worked through it. I had a mate called Hugh Bowen that helped with kind of like the gunfire and some of the sort of basic battle stuff, and another guy called Ed Sanford that helped with a few, mainly corrections, but it was all good. You know, it was all good stuff. And Lucas from Poland was doing some of the more complicated shots, like New York getting destroyed and the planets. We shot a little bit in Lanzarote. He put all the alien planets on the landscapes and things. So that was all, you know, it was good. But I literally stood at this very screen, and it took about 2.5 years, and we just worked through it. And I learned all about After Effects and, you know, bringing the shot in, doing the work, exporting it, you know. And I know a lot of people have seen the film, and a lot of kind of people have laid into it for its special effects. But Jonathan Ross said he thought the effects were fantastic, you know, considering the micro budgetness of the whole film, you know, and it's doing really well in America and everything. So, you know, it's been really good. It's been really good. So.
Brilliant. So,
John, another long-winded answer.
No, that's perfect. So the day of the premiere, I think you premiered it, was it the IMAX?
Yes, it was in Birmingham.
Yeah.
But I was a bit frightened to say premiere because I didn't have distribution. And if you say premiere, people assume that the film's out there and it's doing the business. So I called it test screening, which it kind of was, because it wasn't the final version, and it was still Kaleidoscope Man at the time. And that was magic. That was magic. I got my friend Chris Jones from Screenwriters Festival to come and introduce it, and another director friend to be up there as well, and it was brilliant. And we got all the actors in, and it was amazing. It was amazing. But we had a few test screenings actually over the next sort of 3 months. We had 4, but we had one in London, one in Bristol, and one up in Yorkshire, and they were all absolutely amazing. Just really great. And I was kind of gauging reactions, and I was still tweaking the edit at that point, and and it seemed to work. That was brilliant. The one in London was amazing. Everybody just leapt to their feet at the end. I filmed it. I was seeing what sort of reaction was. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. Made it all worthwhile.
So that amazing thing, you've done things not a lot of filmmakers know that have done. So you've shown your film in cinemas across the country, and I have personally been in many shops locally in Devon that have got your film on DVD. The distribution of this is...
What's this one here?
Yeah, who knew? Product
now available in any shop in Devon.
Yeah. So
yeah, well,
what's that like? And it's doing well in the US. I think we've spoken that it's going to Japan. Is that right? It's got being sold in Japan, South Korea. I think it's going to be all over Europe. Obviously, with the coronavirus, everything's kind of ground to a halt. But it was doing extremely well. I hadn't seen any money yet, but it's all on the horizon apparently. But it's weird. I always had a gut feeling that the film would do well. I knew couldn't really compare it to Star Wars. I mean, in my mind I did, but just technically it's a micro budget movie, and when movies cost $200 million, you just can't compare it. I think a lot of people are seeing it on IMDb and expecting, kind of Hollywood budget, and it isn't. But with distribution, I literally just got on the phone and I rang up every distributor in the land, anyone I could find, and I got there eventually. And this theatrical guy said, well, we'll put it in a few cinemas around the country. That'll give you lots of exposure. We'll get it in front of all the critics and the really hard-nosed, all the Guardian and the Times and Mark Commode and all those people. So that was amazing for me. And on the back of what Munro Films, they're called, that distribution company, he introduced me to Lightbulb Distribution, who did all the kind of UK DVD and all the digital, and really helped with the promotion of that. And that, thanks to them, is the reason it's in the shops. It's incredible going out. We pop down to Astor. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
It's amazing. And I went up to the kind of first hour, picked up, and I said, I made this. This is my film. To the girl. It was bizarre. It's really funny.
But you've done it on a fraction of a Hollywood film.
I know, and a lot of people. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I knew I could though. I know it sounds. I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, but I just knew in my gut that I could do it. I've been an editor for years, and I when I was neck deep in it, I thought there were a few points when I thought, Jesus, what the hell have I got myself into here? Because. And I knew it wasn't looking quite, because I was looking at Rogue One, and I kept looking at the way, and I was trying to match that, and I just, obviously I couldn't. But I just tried as hard as I could, and we do a shot, I'd cut it in, and I go, no, just had a bit more smoke there, that needs a bit more light, that's too dark, and I just keep going over and over and over it. And there was something like 850 effects shots. It was huge. Wow. Huge. So it took 2.5 years just to doing the effects. So I'm really proud of that as an achievement. I mean, I never do anything else in my life. I was like, well, I did this.
That's amazing. Yeah. So couple more questions before we end. The big one, obviously, you're very passionate about what you do, and that comes across, and it shows how the film's actually got to where it is. Have you got any advice to filmmakers that are thinking of making their first feature? They're thinking, oh yeah, I can make a feature film. Feature.
I have. Everyone will give you advice, and they'll all tell you what to do and what not to do. And I just say, you've really got to just follow your gut instinct. Every time I followed that, I listened to my inner voice, I got it right. I mean, that sounds really arrogant. When I listen to everybody else, no, that's not quite true. But you know, most of my decisions that I knew in my heart were right. The other thing, this is really, really important. We all think there's somebody out there that's going to look at you and go, man, you're so talented. Here's the money. Go away and make your project. And so this is what I did. I spent my life waiting for that person to give me permission to do it. And there comes a point when you go, if I don't, there's only one person that's going to make this work, and that's me. And that's me. And you just have to absolutely believe in yourself and not wait for permission from anybody. And don't let some idiot tell you that you're doing the wrong thing. If you absolutely believe in it, you've got to do it. And you know what? Don't look at it as a whole. Look at it as small steps. Right, we'll focus on that bit. We'll get that bit right. Then we'll focus on that. And it's like building a jigsaw. Don't try and do it all in one hit. I'm making a movie. It just scares the life out of you. So it's all about small steps.
Awesome.
That's probably John. Right.
That's fun. So this is the sort of the end of the bit and the end of our interview. Yeah. We post all links to everything and the website for the film, and where can they find about this film and what you're doing next? Where do we go?
Well, best thing to do, if you want to find out about Invasion Planet Earth, that's this one here. It's invasionplanetearth.com. There's the links. It's on Amazon. You can watch it digitally on all of them: Amazon, Sky, Amazon Prime. It's only a couple of quid on Amazon Prime. What else? Virgin. All of the digital platforms. That's here in the UK. If you live anywhere in the world, it's all over America and Canada. It's on all the digital platforms. It's in all your Walmarts. Hell, here in the UK, it's in Asda, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Morrison's, H&B, and most of them now it's £3. I think it's a bit more in H&B, but H&B's shut anyway, so don't go there. But if you do get the DVD, and I really recommend it. I mean, it is £3, which is seriously, I don't know what I get, 30p of that or something. But it's got the making of on the back, and we've done an hour-long documentary about how we did it, and it's really inspiring. And I think any young filmmakers out there that are thinking about doing it, watch it, see how I did it, learn from my mistakes, which I talk about quite clearly, and just get on and do it. Don't put things in the way that will stop you from doing it. Fear is the big thing, right? It's, oh my God, you just got to push through the fear and keep going. All right. So,
brilliant.
All right, John, that's a long-winded answer for you.
No, that's perfect. Thanks so much for joining us today, Simon. And inspirational. I think.
Thank you, and keep up the good work, John. Man, you're doing a great job.
They're gonna make a feature film because they watch this, and you might get a thank you message.
Wow, well, that'd be nice. And I'm doing another one as well. I've got another one in the pipe. I'm going even bigger. Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Done. Superb.
Massive explosions are being reported in Mexico City, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. President Waterman has warned the governments of the world to brace themselves.
People of Earth, attention.
What do you want?
You are next.